Alright, Snapchat, text messages, and tweets. Now that's probably the first thing you think to mind when I mention cell phones or computers. Well, have you ever thought of them as helping you advance in school? Now I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to think about it. How many of you own a cell phone or a computer? Now how many of you students try to sneak your cell phone into class? Well, that may not be to help you with school, but it still has to bring up the same concept. I've been reading and researching a lot this past couple of months about the positive and negative sides of technology and cell phones, and if they should be allowed in classrooms. Last year about this time, I've also done another research paper about this same topic, so I do have quite a bit of background information over this. So today I will be persuading you on why technology should be allowed in classrooms by discussing the benefits technology has through safety, saving money, and ways to improve the negative side of technology. So let's first start with discussing the benefits that the cell phone can have in the classroom. Through safety. In the magazine Teen Ink, which is very popularized in schools for teenagers to read and help easy for them to comprehend, the discussion of cell phones to be allowed in school was addressed. The first point they made was if a child with a medical condition needs medical attention, a cell phone is easy access to contact 911, or also with medical condition, the cell phones and computers can also set reminders for students to take medicine if they do need during class or any other means like that. The cell phone can also be used in cases of an emergency like an intruder. An intruder can enter through any side of the school. Say the administration or the office doesn't see someone come in and a student with a cell phone in the classroom and they're the first to detect it, they can contact law enforcement and 911 a lot faster than something already happening inside the school. The cell phones can also be used to contact parents if needed. For example, say a certain sports game is postponed, so instead of having 30 students wait in line at the school phone and waiting to call all their parents and making after-school arrangements and everything, students with cell phones can always just pull out their cell phone, send a quick text or a call to make all their arrangements and inform their parents of things that are happening. This will also help teachers because it won't take as much time out of their learning and teaching time. According to the article, Should Cell Phones Be Allowed in School by School Money, and school money is used in schools nationwide to help identify proper savings and spending techniques inside schools. This was addressed that cell phones and phones can help children with disabilities effectively communicate and learn. And this can also apply to like foreign exchange students. So say there's a word that neither of them are familiar with, you can always type it into some technology and they can speak it back to you. Or on computers, there's different programs that are developed for people with special needs to help them learn and comprehend things that not they can comprehend when everyone else can. So now moving on to how technology can save money for school administration. So allowing students to bring their own personal technologies and personal computers, it will originally help save money because the school won't have to spend as much money on a wide variety and surplus of computers when people can just bring them themselves. This money can also be used to help spend on other forms and things that are needed into school, like school renovations or other things like that. Along with students bringing their own cell phones and computers, using them in school, the school doesn't have to pay for updates or software on the computers because they're going to be their own personal computers and they're going to be required for that. Also, if the computer does break, the school's not going to be in charge of having to pay for it or find out who did break the computer that the school owned because it is the student's own personal property and they're in charge of making sure that everything stays intact and nothing is breaking on their own computer. Many schools have also started making much of their curriculum computer-based, which doesn't require as much paper, and that saves money for the parents and the school because they don't have to buy paper at the beginning of the school year. They don't have to buy paper for printers to print off worksheets and assignments, and they also don't have to pay for ink. This will also help save money and the environment. So also now moving on to the transition of the third point, there's many benefits that allow technology in classrooms, but many people also believe that technology shouldn't be because there's many different distracting aspects of it, but having technology in school, you can also limit some of the distractions. So the book Cell Phones in Classrooms by Liz Kolb, she takes multiple accounts and interviews from teachers and takes their opinion on if cell phones should or shouldn't be allowed in the classrooms. And one of the interviews stated that if cell phones should to be allowed in classrooms, they might think it's distracting because students will be on their cell phones or computers just playing on random websites and apps and not really paying attention. But the school can always have a contract when having this that there's certain guidelines that have to be made. So the classroom can have certain apps and websites blocked connected to the school Wi-Fi, which will allow everyone to pay attention in class and not having distracting, like being on social media or anything. So a newspaper article that was written over family education found an increasing number of educational apps that are also being developed now, and they can be incorporated more into the learning process because at homes now, many families also have technology like iPads and phones and computers, so students are already used to the mindset of playing on it, so incorporating something that they're used to and they enjoy at their own home and incorporating learning into it helps them learn, but they're also having a fun way of doing it, so they don't really know they're learning and they're not really bored with it. Another reason many people believe why the cell phone shouldn't be allowed in schools is the distraction cell phones have. So instead of paying attention in class, they may be on social media, or people also believe that being on social media will increase cyberbullying. This argument was brought up by a discussion on a broadcast of CBS News, including interviews and opinions by state senators and school board and teacher administration. So cyberbullying happens inside and outside of school. Teachers can possibly monitor the cyberbullying during school by having accounts. Like I know at our school, Trinity, we have a Trinity Twitter page, and a lot of the sports teams have it. So they can always monitor some of the social media being brought up, and if there's cyberbullying, they can always address it to the school, and then they can go to the root of the problem and address that. Teachers also believe that having technology in class will also be distracting during tests and exams. They believe that students will possibly use their phones and computers to look up the answers on tests or text a classmate for help. But teachers, having them in classroom, they can always make their own set of rules. So during test time, the technology can have to be completely turned off, or the teacher can collect the cell phones or computers at the beginning of class before the test starts, so they don't have the intention of trying to cheat and it's out of their mind. So today I've provided you with reasons why technology should be allowed in classrooms, which benefits the safety in schools and the financial savings, as well as also providing reasons why many don't want personal technology in the classrooms, but providing ways to improve these problems. The way to persuade personal technology in classrooms starts with you, the students, that you are responsible enough to handle this trust and power that teachers can put in front of you. With the help of your own personal technology in classrooms, it will start a chain reaction. You will save time every day to get the school computers, which will allow you to finish homework faster and allowing you more free time of your own.